Hi there, this is Michael Wu from Shanghai, China. In my last video, I talked about one small company with sales volume roughly near sales is about $5 million US, that's 30 million RMB. And his company is experiencing some changes because he wants to grow the company dramatically to catch the market opportunity. Actually, he was given 3 options for change his leadership style in the company. And at last, he chose number 1 option, which is quite conservative. Actually, just focus on management style change, bringing in some new process in the production side, especially some changes, new systems for the human resources, like the procedures for recruiting, retaining people, motivation, incentive systems. But largely depend on management improvement. So the reason is he is quite conservative in his characteristic. And at one side, he wants to grow the company quickly. He has some kind of vision for the quick growth of the company. At the other side, he's worried about his management capability. So after balancing the pros and cons, he chose a more conservative way to change or, to be more accurate, maintain his leadership. Let's see what will happen in the next 3 years. Okay, let's see another company. This is actually a medium-sized company which makes field mover and vacuum cleaners. It is located in Suzhou, Jiangsu area in eastern China. The sales volume by the last year is about 200 million US. So it's quite sizable in terms of volume. Let's see what's the facts of this company. The company was founded 17 years ago, and it started actually design of the products and subcontract. When they get orders, they subcontract orders to the manufacturing plant in China. And later on, they found if they only design and they cannot control the manufacturing process, it's very difficult to expand their business. So they started to invest their money in building a factory, and then they have a design and also they have manufacturing. And the first 5 years, the sales growth was very quick. It's about 50%. And in the recent years, they still maintain 20% yearly sales. Right now, they have multiple factories with total 100,000 square meters. The management structure is, there is one CEO, and who is also the major shareholders, and also one man in charge of R&D, one in charge of technology, and one in charge of HR. So 4 of them formed board of directors, which are the major owners, and they hire managers to run the companies. R&D people, they have 200, which is quite a big team. You can see they are very much focused on technology and new designs. Their business percentage is about 85% for export, and half of them go to US market and another half go to the European market. So only 15% is for the local Chinese market. For the workers, operators, they have roughly 1,600. It depends on high season, low season, because their production is very seasonal. For the high season, they can hire as many as 2,000 people, but low season maybe only 1,200. So it ups and downs. Okay, let's see how this company runs. Good things are the company understands the market very well, because all those owners, before they formed their own company, they worked in the industry for more than 10 years. So they understand the industry very well, and they understand the technology and also know the customer requirements on the quality side. And this is a labor incentive manufacturing, especially for the assembly of vacuum cleaners. So usually the order volume is very big. One order could be 100,000 units. So that's why if you investigate vacuum cleaners market, you can get the numbers that 70% total global production is in China, especially in Jiangsu area. Why? Because this industry requires a lot of laborers involved. You don't need high skills, just a lot of manual assembly. The technology is not so sophisticated, so the labor cost is the key element of the product. Okay, so once they established their own manufacturing base, it actually sets a barrier for the small companies to enter to compete with them, because you got the volume, then you have the competitive edge to control the cost, especially on the labor side. So that's why they grew up the business very quickly. It's the same thing like other assembly plants in China for the how to say, the white goods electrical products. Okay, downside of this company is that the CEO of this company is very strong in the sales field. He has good connections with all the major customers because they export. They actually do the OEM business, just label the brands for other for overseas customers. So the relationship with the customers are very important. The CEO has a very good relations with all the major customers. So that's why the company success very much rely on the CEO capability, and or to be more direct, the CEO controls the company because he controls the customers. And the company also set up some basic procedures, policies, systems, and quite mature. And you can, from the management side, you can see they just operate like foreign companies, very mature and a lot of things in place. But it not increase their competitive edge. If you look at the turnover rate of the workers, it's very high. It's almost 80% per year. Why? Because the salary they offered is not competitive. The philosophy behind is, okay, the assembly process is simple. So I just pay you this salary, and if you don't like this job, okay, you can leave, I can hire new people. So that's why people come in and out, and the company still runs this way. It doesn't impact the operation, doesn't impact the manufacturing, but it does have some kind of negative effects in the quality control side, but not the cost side. Then let's see what's the leadership style in this company. What I can see from their real operation, My judgment of this company is it's very typical Chinese leading style. So dictatorship is a typical character. They always demand people to do something, not inspiring, not leading. And actually they have a vision, they have volumes, they have a lot of statements putting on the wall. And I don't think people really respect those things on the walls. So the leadership does not mean what you write, it means what you do. So people just follow those wise men who they believe in what they will do, not believing what they are saying. So, but I don't judge the leadership, which one is good, which is bad, or which is better, which is worse. What I can say is the leadership in this company is just a very traditional Chinese style dictatorship and authority. And they focus on management control, so very much. Oh, I think that's it. So that's the current status. And when they talk about people, they are taking care of those middle-level management staff because they believe those managers or key staff are very important. They don't really take care of the low-level operators. You can see from the turnover rates. So that's the leadership of this company. Then we will see what they can do to meet the next level challenge. The new challenge of this company is from year 2019, they actually got a lot of difficulties from the US market because one of their major customers in US, which is called the Sears department, they went bankruptcy. So they canceled a lot of orders. This is one big effect in the market. Another thing is during year 2020, especially on the first half of the year, so due to the coronavirus, so the orders went down dramatically. And the challenge is from the business side. Also on the people side, the people turnover rate is always very high. So this is not a healthy situation because in the, let's say 10 years ago, the labor market in China is, you can say oversupply. So you can easily hire people from the marketplace because a lot of farmers, they came from their hometown, rural area, which are very poor. They went to the big cities or the relatively bigger cities to seek job opportunities. But right now, as the economy changes, so more and more young people, they don't really like to work in factory work environment. So more people, they come from rural areas, they went to the cities, they actually want to get some jobs in .com company or some high-tech companies, even with a little lower pay, but they think the work environment is different and they can learn a lot of new things or fun things. So even a lot of people, they just want to do the food delivery, which is also very hard working, but they don't like working the factory environment. What I see is the factory, the manufacturing industry really facing a big challenge of getting the laborers, especially for the labor-intensive assembly plants. Okay, another issue is also when we talk about leadership. So many Chinese leaders, they don't really understand the leadership and the management. So they also think leaders, managers are same. If I follow these managers, and then I just follow him as he is my leader. So it's a different understanding. What I want to say is, due to the different understanding on the leadership, so many company, this company is a good example. So the management staff don't really think how important the leadership may play a role in guiding the people, inspiring people, leading people towards the same direction. When the company was in good time, so you don't see a lot of problem because the company make profits, you pay more, and the people are happy. When company experience difficulties, so the leadership usually plays a more important role to inspire people and guide them through difficult times, work together to overcome difficulties, hard time. Okay, so what kind of new leadership they need to have? I think the CEO needs to have a real vision. So he, of course, he's a super salesman, just like all the other Chinese companies or many other Chinese companies. The CEO usually is a super salesman, and to get a lot of orders to make sure the company has enough things to do. That's not enough in today's world, because today's world it's full of competition, and the business world changes quickly, and today's customer may not be tomorrow's customers, and the customer's loyalty is not only depending on the relationship between the persons, but also resides in the technology and competitive situations and other factors. So I think from CEO's side, he needs to think how to change his leadership style and make sure his staff team can be follow him in the same direction, and establish kind of inspiration to lead people. Of course, management system is still important, but how to lead instead of just managing people is the important thing many Chinese company needs to think about, especially like this kind of medium-sized operations. Okay, so Chinese small and medium-sized enterprises now reaching their ceilings from my standpoint. So they do need to think about how to develop their leadership. In the past 20, 40 years, many companies, they just got a fortune to develop. Some of them maybe found a market opportunity, and some of them just had a new technology, and some of them just work very hard to get his fortune. So, but in today's business world, these are not enough. So we need to think about how to strengthen Chinese leadership to compete with not only Chinese companies, but also foreign companies. So this is today's world. Okay, so that's all for today. I think if you are interested in my program, please subscribe and give me a like. Thank you.